billion annually for the federal government.
And in sports, Manchester City returned to the top of the Premier League for the first time since November as they leapfrogged leaders Arsenal with a vital 3-1 victory at the Emirates Stadium. The reigning champions turned on the power in the second half of the biggest game of the domestic season as Arsenal paid a heavy price for individual errors. Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland scored the goals for Manchester City as Arsenal succumbed to an 11th successive loss to their title rival.
Also in sports, in the UEFA Champions League, Chelsea succumbed to a loss against the Borussia Dortmund despite 21 attempts at goal and 8 on target. It was a familiar story for Chelsea on Wednesday as they showed the lack of a cutting edge in the final third on their way to defeat. Karim Adeyemi broke the deadlock with a brilliant solo goal for the host. Meanwhile, Benfica recorded a 2-0 first leg win over Club Brugge. And that's a news update on Law FM 103.9. To get more stories and for more eyewitness reports, do visit our website at www.lawfmng.com and follow us on socials. On Facebook, we're at Law FM 1039, Instagram at Law FM Radio, and Twitter at Law FM_radio. Keep it dialed, tuning and locked on. The Law FM morning show will continue shortly.
Presenting the Law FM Morning Show, giving you the best of news, legal update, newspaper review, and hard talk.
The cost of living, talk of lights, talk of good road, talk of some other things.
So grab the late morning coffee from 9 a.m. to 11, because the conversation will begin. Law FM 103.9, your station for knowledge and entertainment. Right here.
This is Law FM 103.9.
Exclusive.
Presenting the Law FM Morning Show, giving you the best of news, legal update, newspaper review, and hard talk.
The cost of living, talk of lights, talk of good road, talk of some other things.
So grab the late morning coffee from 9 a.m. to 11, because the conversation will begin. Law FM 103.9, your station for knowledge and entertainment.
Welcome back. Your dial is still tuning and locked on to Law FM 103.9, your only law radio station. This is still the Law FM morning show, going on strong, and right about now we're about to move into our newspaper review segment where we highlight and x-ray different headlines across various dailies and of course talk about the corresponding stories therein. We're going to begin with this story we find in the Punch newspaper this morning that says New Naira Crisis. Violence spreads in state, 3 killed, banks burnt. I must say, Samson, since we've been hearing about the violence that's been going on around the banks since the New Naira Crisis, we haven't exactly heard about casualties and fatalities such as 3 people getting killed and the banks being burnt. So this is quite extreme.
Quite extreme, quite unfortunate, and the advocacy remains that citizens shouldn't take laws into their hands. As much as you want to comprehend their frustration and anger at what's happening, there's really no room for taking the laws into your hands, and this is not nice because attacking banking facilities or banking officials, as it were, doesn't address the issues at hand. It's the CBN that has to come up with policies that the commercial banks have to act on. Having said that, I think security agents need to step up. Over the last week we saw this brain, the handwriting was clearly on the wall, and it looked like it would degenerate to this point. So as much as it's not surprising that it has degenerated to this point, probably what's shocking is the fact that security agencies have not been able to they've not been proactive to forestall this. Hopefully with this event now you have more security personnel guarding banking facilities.
Exactly, because the loss of life is quite extreme. I mean, it's different from someone getting injured or just other minor bodily harm. People have lost their lives as a result to the New Naira Crisis. So hopefully, especially with the President's address this morning, peace can be restored and more people can be at rest when it comes to the New Naira Crisis.
Exactly. Let's take a look at The Guardian. On The Guardian this morning, the headline reads, Naira redesign, hope deferred as Supreme Court adjourns suits to February 22nd. and you have various, stand first to that story. Again, I think for most of the papers, it has to do with, the Supreme Court verdict and the whole Naira controversy. Hopefully, the president's speech, has at least calmed some nerves and allayed some fears in that sense. Again, it's the 200 old note that is coming back into circulation. Hopefully that also addresses some of these grievances held by citizens. It will be intriguing to hear what our guest has to say. As I said earlier, he is a legal practitioner. He's also a public affairs analyst, and he has so much to say concerning the president's address as well as the Supreme Court's decision yesterday to adjourn the the suit to next week, February 22nd, 2023. Well, it's time to take a break, and when we return, we'll be joined by our guest. Please do stay with us. You do not want to miss this conversation because there's still so much content from where this came.
Presenting the Law FM Morning Show, giving you the best of news, legal update, newspaper review, and hard talk.
The cost of living, talk of lights, talk of good road, talk of some other things.
So grab the late morning coffee from 9 a.m. to 11, because the conversation will begin. Law FM 103.9, your station for knowledge and entertainment.
When you listen to this station, you learn about your rights. You discover the law in ways you never imagined. You know why? Because we broadcast in your interest.
It's a problem that we are all experiencing in the country. Different parts of the country, the same thing is happening. So who do we call on to? Who do we hold responsible?
We impact knowledge.
If the grid is unable to shed the load that it ought to, it could also result in the collapse of the national grid.
Call it what you may, but we are here to stay. The law was never biased, so why should it be now? To every individual, we are Law FM 103.9.
Hello guys, my name is Lele Momodu and you are listening to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment. Your only law radio station.
This is Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment. My name is Shagwarinze.
Your number one hit station in town.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tunji Bakari. I've been a medical doctor for over 20 years, and sometimes I have to recommend my patients leave the country to get urgent care. But with 5G, I don't need my patients to spend enormous amounts of money to fly out. I can consult real time with experts all over the world without needing to get a visa. Even monitoring patients with heart conditions or patients that are at risk of other ailments alone at home can be done with the wearable technology 5G facilitates. Even though I'm a doctor, I keep having to convince my patients this is real, not magic. Bridge the gap with MTN 5G. It offers hyper-fast internet speeds, seamless buffering, and applications that can only be possible via its quality data capabilities. No be juju, now MTN 5G. Now available on iPhone. MTN, what are we doing today?
And discover what you can do right now.
All the youths in Nigeria, let me assure you that no matter what you are going through, the future is bright. You are the future. You have the power to create the future. Don't let anybody use you as gangster or thug or violent political followers. Just stay within the law. And by the grace of God, Nigeria will be better. I'm Olufemi Pedro, and you are listening to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment.
On the busy streets, the air delivers the signal of Nigeria's first and only law radio station. The station where you get to hear the law, talk the law, and know your rights like never before. Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment.
First-hand knowledge of the law and your rights, right here on Law FM 103.9.
My baby, every day now day of love for me and you. be just one day something. Every day now Valentine for us.
I beg, Oga, don't even talk that one. All this away they talk, I will say you give me my Valentine gift.
No worry. Now why are they listening to Law FM 103.9 to win all the better giveaway where they give this Valentine season once I win them? Now me and
this one is emotional.
No, they dare make this season of love pass you by you. Tune to Law FM 103.9 and begin win Ogbonge giveaway for this season of love.
What do we do at dawn on Saturday mornings? Cup of coffee? A cold shower? Go for a run? Well, some people do that, others listen to the Saturday morning show for premium gist, facts, tips, awesome tunes, cutting across everything. Sports, music, entertainment, relationship, health, law with Beatrice and the DJs every Saturday from 7 a.m. So what are we doing this Saturday Presenting morning? the Law FM Morning Show, giving you the best of news, legal update, newspaper review, and hard talk.
The cost of living, talk of lights, talk of good road, talk of some other things.
So grab the late morning coffee from 9 a.m. to 11, because the conversation will begin. Law FM 103.9, your station for knowledge and entertainment.
Right here.
This is Law FM 103.9.
Exclusive.
Minutes gone past 9 a.m. this beautiful terrific Thursday morning, right here on Law FM 103.9, your only law radio station. Yes, it's still the Law FM morning show going on strong, and yes, we just got done with the newspaper review, the segment where we talked about the violence that has spread, you know, across some states, with 3 killed and the banks being burned down. Yes, we got a contribution on Facebook. Remember, you can send us an SMS or a WhatsApp message on via the number 0703-227-7338. That is 0703-227-7338. Of course, as the show progresses, at any time you want to leave your thoughts and contribute, you can also call that number or call 0909-555-1039. All right, on Facebook we have this message from Ozo Francis Namani, who says he's watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State. He says, betterlicious morning from here. The approval of old 200 Naira notes for a period of 60 days is commendable. However, Mr. President should approve 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira respectively to reduce people's suffering. May God help us. Of course, soon enough, we're going to have our guest, in person of Barrister Jide Ologun, is a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst. Hopefully, you can touch on this concern, because it's one that I also had as well. You know, why was it just the 200 Naira that was approved to still be in circulation until April 10 and not 500 Naira and 1,000? That's a concern that also Francis has shared here. Hopefully, the barrister can, you know, give us more insight on that.
Exactly, and I think we would like to hear from, you know, Nigerians as well. They need to share their experiences. What's your thoughts concerning the president's speech? Yes. And, you know, touching on the Naira crisis, as well as the coming elections, assuring them of security, telling them to go out to vote for, you know, the candidate of their choice, yes. And also promising them that their votes will count. So we would like to hear your thoughts. Once again, the numbers to call 0703-2277338 or 0909-555-1039. Your text messages, WhatsApp messages are all welcome alongside the calls. We'll take a breather now. When we return, we'll be joined by our guest. Please to stay with us.
Presenting the Law FM Morning Show, giving you the best of news, legal update, newspaper review, and hard talk.
The cost of living, talk of lights, talk of good road, talk of some other things.
So grab the late morning coffee from 9 a.m. to 11, because the conversation will begin. Law FM 103.9, your station for knowledge and entertainment.
When you listen to this station, you learn about your rights. You discover the law in ways you never imagined. You know why? Because we broadcast in your interest.
It's a problem that we are all experiencing in the country. Different parts of the country, the same thing is happening. So who do we call on to? Who do we hold responsible?
We impact knowledge.
If the grid is unable to shed the load that it ought to, it could also result in the collapse of the national grid.
Call it what you may, but we are here to stay. The law was never biased, so why should it be now? To every individual, we are Law FM 103.9.
There are no internal electricity board.
Yes, this is still the Law FM morning show right here on your station for knowledge and entertainment. It is the only radio station where you get to hear the law, you talk the law, and you know your rights like never before. Yes, I'm Samson Olede, and if we still have Beatrice here with me. Beatrice and him looking all gorgeous.
Thank you, Samson. I mean, more than just looking gorgeous and whatnot, there are serious matters that we need to get into right here. And we have right here on joining us, Barrister Jide Ologun. Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning. They say knowledge is power, so thank you for boosting the knowledge base.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful listeners.
Yes, Barrister Jide Ologun is a legal practitioner as well as a public affairs analyst. It's a pleasure having you on the show this morning. Let's begin with the president's address, which took place about 2 hours ago. What was your initial reaction from all that he said?
I must appreciate the president for coming out to address the nation, which it's a normal thing to do, particularly when the tension is high now. Because recall that when the initial timeline was the 31st of January,
yes,
the CBN governor went to Daura and the president spoke that, okay, extend it to 10th of February. And that was complied with. But when we now had the directive of the Supreme Court and different things happening in the country, it was like the presidency went numb. And people were asked, people needed direction. And he has come out now to say, okay, this is my own, may I call it recommendation now, because we have 3 arms of government and we have checks and balances.
Yes.
So the president is now saying that only 200 naira bill can be reintroduced by the central bank.
Okay.
That the 1,500 bill will cease to be legal tenders. And if you want to drop it in the ocean of what the Supreme Court directed, the direction of the Supreme Court via an ex parte order was that this note should remain legal tender until the substantive dispensation of the matter before the Supreme Court, given a date until you come back on the 15th of February, given 5 days beyond the 10th of February. And on the 15th of February, the matter has been adjourned to 22nd of February, perhaps to accommodate those who are seeking to be joined. And the president has come out now to make a pronouncement. And a critical thing happened on the 15th of February.
Okay.
The Supreme Court was urged to make a pronouncement on the interim order given. But it was just taken for granted that it's a subsisting order. But in practice, that order has not been respected because banks are no longer collecting the old notes from customers, talking about commercial banks. Even in the marketplace, there are rejections. I even read a report that even courts were not collecting the old notes. So that created a form of confusion in the society. And the position now is that, okay, you can bring your old currency. In fact, the CBN governor said it, between 15th of February and 17th of February, bring your currencies to the central bank. You have to go through portal. So it's a messy situation. But by and large, from the express language and body language of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, this may be more of a political move than an economic move.
Okay.
And I believe we discuss that as we proceed in this laudable conversation.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Barrister Jide. I have a question. You mentioned how the Supreme Court order has not been adhered to by the actors or the parties that are supposed to be carrying it out to the letter. What can you make of this, really? Because would you say that it means that these people who are going against the order have a better understanding of how it should be done, how things should be done, or how exactly can it be averted, or what can the Supreme Court do to make sure that this order is upheld, in its totality to the letter?
In law, there are technicalities. I have been keenly monitoring this trend, and I read a report that as of last Friday, the Office of the Attorney General was claiming that they have not received the certified true copy of that ruling. You see, though the Attorney General came out that they will respect the instruction of the Supreme Court, but we now have a macro problem. Let's even assume that quietly the Office of the Attorney General representing the Federation decides to respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. What about the people in the market space? So how do you now compel the commercial banks to pick this money when they are not sure whether CBN will pick the money from them? So there is a confusion, because when you are implementing laws, you have to evaluate the ecosystem. So what I have seen here, and it's my personal opinion and perception, is that we may have a battle between two arms of government. We have three arms: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. And now it has come to fore again, because for the purpose of analysis, the position of Supreme Court is that we have not dispensed with the substantive issue case. So our interim order that this old note should remain legal tender subsist. All right?
Okay.
And now the President has come out representing the executive arm of the government to say that no, 500 naira notes and 1,000 naira notes will not be legal tender. Only 200 naira notes will be legal tender. So we have a battle of authority here now. You see, and we need to handle it carefully, because if you look at the legislative arm that is just watching now, Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended says that the National Assembly shall make laws for the peace, order, and good governance of the nation. Now, let's go back to what happened in the Supreme Court, because there is a preliminary objection. The Supreme Court does not have jurisdiction to entertain that suit. Fine. Very beautiful theoretical argument. But the state that sued did not sue Central Bank, and that's another issue. Some are saying if you are not a party to the suit, you are not bound by the pronouncements coming from that. The state sued the Federation, by virtue of whose authority, vicariously, CBN is implementing a policy that is affecting the citizens in those states. The picture is clear. So CBN was not joined. Because if you go by Section 251 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, the appropriate court to approach when you have issues with Central Bank is the Federal High Court. All right. And now let's talk about the state suing the Federation. By Section 232 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, the Supreme Court is the court of first and final jurisdiction between states and the federation. But again, that is qualified, because there has to be disputes. So what is the dispute here? So for lawyers, for the judiciary now, it's a very sensitive matter. So those who are claiming that if you are targeting Central Bank of Nigeria, and I think that is the alibi that the Central Bank government governor is hiding under, that I'm not a party to this suit, and that is why the directive of the president also matters. Because the CBN appears to be answerable to the president. So we need to clarify the issue of jurisdiction. And the state smartly did not join the Central Bank. Why? For those of us who are practitioners, okay, even in the Supreme Court now, is it a swift and prompt thing? No. There's an adjournment now. So you can imagine starting a matter in the Federal High Court when elections are just around the corner, all right? Starting a matter in the Federal High Court, you now move to the Court of Appeal, from Court of Appeal to Supreme Court. How long will it take?
It's bureaucratic.
And that is why I want the National Assembly. I'm setting an agenda now for the National Assembly in the future to look at our laws and try to cover up some of the lacunas. You recall when one of the candidates in the Kogi State election, died at a critical moment. The Electoral Act has been amended to make sufficient provisions for such a scenario. This is another one now that we should study critically. That what happens when the implementation of a policy. So these are issues that we are dealing with. But by and large, the nation is in crisis. People are suffering. Businesses are, being crippled. In fact, a renowned economist, Mr. Bismarck Rewani, already came out to give a caution that Nigeria may be losing about $18 million monthly because of these payment and trade disruptions. The IMF and the World Bank has warned us.
Barrister, please, I'm sorry, I need to interrupt you. We'll just quickly pay some bills and we'll get back with your thoughts. Please do stay with us.
It's all right.
This is FM 103.
This is Honorable Adekunle Akobada. I'm Dele Momodu, and you are listening to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment. Your only law radio station.
Strap yourself in because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go on Law FM 103.9.
Law FM 103.9 is extending a promo package to small and medium-sized businesses who are looking to advertise their various products. For just 50,000 naira, small-scale businesses can get spot placement 3 times daily for 3 weeks. For medium-scale businesses, at a round figure of 100,000 naira, you get spot placement 3 times daily every weekday for 3 weeks and a 5-minute recorded live session.
For further inquiry, please call 091 610 22372. Again, 091 610 22372.
Law FM 103.9, the station for knowledge and entertainment.
Here is an opportunity for you to find answers to all your medical related questions. Join Dr. Gibbs, a legit therapist consultant, psychiatrist, and health policy expert on The Legit Therapist with Dr. Gibbs of the Freudian Center every Wednesday from 10 to 10:45 a.m. on Law FM 103.9.
All doctors to the ER.
Starts now. Hey.
Tired of all the kawahala? It just they chop your money finish. Flat tire today, overheating tomorrow, document expired next week.
Madam, bring your papers.
And don't even get me started on the long queues at fuel stations and car wash centers.
Set yourself and move that
Hey, no worry. Roadly, they here to save the day. One call, one subscription, and all your car troubles go away. Fiam, our subscription plan helps you save money on the regular maintenance your car needs, such as car wash, flat tire, breakdown cover, car accessories, driving lessons, and even fuel delivery. We go do one for you. Goodbye to car wahala and hello to Roadly. Visit www.useroadly.com to sign up from as low as 900 naira per month. Call or chat on WhatsApp via 091-256-50432. Across all socials, contact us at Use Roadly. Roadly, the ultimate sidekick for all your car needs.
Right here.
This is Law FM 103.9.
Exclusive.
Yes, this is Live from 103.9, and this is still the Law FM morning show, the very best when it comes to keeping you abreast of national issues, as well as issues that concerns you and I, not just as Nigerians but also as humans, like I like to say. Yes, you can still join the conversation, and it's about reviewing the president's address, as well as reviewing the Supreme Court's involvement in this cash crisis, if you want to call it that. 070-322-77-338 or 090-9555-1039. Those are the numbers to call. Send your text messages as well as WhatsApp messages. Do not forget, we're also live on Facebook. Yes, Law FM 103.9. You can also get to watch this show. Barrister Jide Ologun is still very much with us, but we have a caller here who is here to speak to us. Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is you are calling.
Oh, okay.
Right, Joel.
You have the floor.
Please.
Yeah. My take is the presidential the talk on the issue of the Naira.
Okay.
The president. Why would the president not sometimes do something when they come out to address to the country? Must he wait when things overwhelm before he come out to address?
Okay.
I reading he has addressed this issue. The thing might not resolve to this issue. Okay, this is the time that we say the 200 naira note should be
brought back into circulation. Yes.
Then what about them? Why not we address the issue before now? The things might not be like this. And again, secondly, I don't know whether the law of the land is different from the presidential and the PPN. We don't know who should be followed.
Okay.
President will say this, the court will say this.
Okay.
Now, Lagos State government has brought up its own, who should say that that we should continue to be using the 1,000 and the 500. I don't know the one that people.
Don't worry, keep listening, Joel. We have the best standby to address these issues.
Well, the president said we should be there. 500 and 1,000 should be start from that end. There is only 200. There should be 200 back.
Don't worry, Joel. Definitely, it's affecting all Nigerians. Thank you so much for your contribution, Joel. Thank you so much. Do not worry. You know quite well that we still have the barrister Jide Ologun right here. Is a distinguished legal practitioner. That much I can tell you for free, and he's here to help us clarify some of the uncertainties and confusion that this matter is bringing to
but before we get
Nigerians.
started, let's take more phone calls.
Okay.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Idris.
Thank you for joining us, Idris. Let's hear from you.
I would like to understand, and if the barrister can help me understand, I would so much appreciate it.
Okay.
What's the ultimate goal of this policy?
Policy, okay.
Is because the effect, as we can see today, I'm sure cannot be the goal of this government. And now when you implement a policy and you see that it is being counterproductive, it is producing something that is against your initial objective.
Okay.
What are you supposed to do as a responsible government? as far as I'm concerned, this policy is putting more hardship, more difficulty on the daily lives of Nigerians. And I'll give you instances.
Okay.
You see, these guys that deal in micro businesses, small businesses.
Petty traders and all, yeah.
Most of them, yes, those petty traders, thank you. Most of them now have to sell less than they usually do. Not because they don't have products to sell.
Right. Yeah.
But because they now have reduced patronage. Now, reduction in the patronage is not as a result of not having people interested in what they do. I want you to understand that part.
Okay.
The only problem here is that those who want to patronize them do not have cash to do so.
Okay.
These petty traders do not have accounts or other means of collecting money.
Right.
So I don't know if the government did not factor in this group of people when they implement this policy. I would have expected that coming up with a policy like this, years or months leading to that, you should have encouraged people or even compelled people to open an account or even a wallet. At least ensure that more than 90% of the people that will be affected by this policy now have electronic means of trading or dealing with money.
Okay.
Then you can now come up with the policy that will take away cash from the circulation automatically.
Okay.
But as far as I'm concerned, this is just a way of imposing hardship, deliberately imposing hardship on the people, and unwillingness to even bring succor to people. I don't know. If I keep talking,
it's quite understandable.
I'm emotional this day.
Okay.
Because anytime I think about this thing, it just feels as if we deliberately on our own bring problem to ourselves.
Okay.
That is just the way I see it. So I don't know if the lawyer can please address this.
It will. Thank you so much for your contribution on show this morning. Barrister Jide Olugun, distinguished legal practitioner, public affairs analyst, is still here with us. Barrister, you heard some Nigerians speak on various concerns. Maybe before you address some of those questions, let's look at the issue of the Supreme Court here. As the first caller asked, which one should people even adhere to? Right. There's the president's directive to CBN. There's also the Supreme Court's ruling that the old notes are still valid and all, but that's not practicable on the streets of Nigeria. So kindly shine more light on that confusion or uncertainty, as it were. Hello, Barrister.
Hello.
Okay, we have issues with the line right there.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I'm on.
Okay.
I said. Okay. I heard you. I heard you clearly.
You have the floor. Sure.
We are quick to say that the nation should not slip into anarchy. But let me state this clearly.
Okay.
What is anarchy? A state of disorder due to absence or non-recognition of authority or other controlling systems. Can you imagine that we're already in an anarchy?
Yes.
Because now, Supreme Court has given a directive. President has given a directive. Governor of Kano State is threatening to revoke CFOs.
Yes.
Governor of Lagos is threatening to arrest POS operators. So who is in charge? That's the big question. Commercial banks are saying we can only take instructions from central bank, which is legitimate.
Yes, the regulatory body.
They are answerable to central bank. So if the president says release money to the people and central bank is not releasing, and we are getting to have more information now. The impression was that money has been released, this one and that. But by the grace of God, by virtue of my positioning, I have access to some bankers. I've had to consult some of them that, please, can I have this cash? And they say, Barrister, they have not given us money. Many of them stopped opening for the threat of attacks.
Yes.
Come to Ikeja. I think Allen Avenue has the highest concentration of banks, if not in West Africa, in Nigeria. If that is still correct, it was so. Come and see. People at the ATMs and everything. So if the money is available, where are people? So you now find everybody. So now, I don't envy that man Who should he listen to? Supreme Court, Attorney General, governors like him. He is the governor of Central Bank, governors of states, or the president. So we are in a state of anarchy, let's face it. But let me point this out.
Okay.
You know, Peter Drucker came up with MBO. MBO is management by objectives, which means you proceed with an objective in mind and you set smart goals. Goals that are specific, goals that are measurable, goals that are attainable, goals that are realistic, goals that are time bound.
Okay.
Now, there are goals attached to this policy. One of them is to deal with kidnapping and ransom taking. Obviously, that is likely to have failed. But we've seen some bandits on video, you know, showcasing millions of these new notes.
Right.
Now, fighting vote buying. Vote buying can be in cash or kind, and I will speak more on that because that appears to be what the president is really cashing on now.
Yeah.
Then to stop racketeering, money laundering, other financial offenses. What have we been able to stop the oil theft? It appears as if the major concern of this policy is electioneering. And on the basis of that, I think the president has achieved one of his goals.
Okay.
Because now Supreme Court has adjourned to 22nd of February. Election should hold, presidential election and the other one should hold on the 25th of February or so.
Yes.
All right. Just 3 days. And now that the president has come out to say only 200 Naira bills will be reintroduced, will the money even flow? Today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday.
Exactly.
So how does the money get back to the society? Because we have issues here. All right. And so politicians are struggling now. So in demonetizing elections, the president is likely to have achieved so much.
Okay.
And that is why you would have noticed that the governors have been restless. Negotiating, going to court. Why didn't the governors go to court in the days of ASU strike?
Or feel scarcity.
Why didn't the governors go to court in the days of, you know, ensuring we have health facilities that are relevant in this country? So these are issues. So, and from the deep information some of us have, some of these stakeholders that are rushing to court now are likely to have billions of naira. And for those who hold money, the higher the denomination, the higher the value you have.
Okay.
In your control. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the president has looked at it that, okay, what I will do is that release the minimum value back to the society. But when you talk of the logistics, how soon, by the grace of God, I was in the legal unit of Central Bank of Nigeria.
Okay.
You know, so you know, I know how the bank operates. Before you even move the money from where it is in Central Bank, because let me tell you, even if the money is still with commercial bank, CBN, because of this singular purpose I just pinpointed now, may claim the money has been taken to CBN. So how do you now move the money from CBN to all the branches of the banks to dispense to the citizens? Between now and then, I told you, okay, we'll now say banks should open on Saturday, they should open on Sunday. So we have logistic issues, and right now, even the cashless policy to transfer money is like running a camel through the eye of the needle. So there are issues. So right now we have anarchy. All right, but I can let you know, you know, without any fear of that when it comes to dealing with politicians, the president has achieved that.
Okay.
Big time.
Okay.
And many are likely to lose if, you know, subject to what the Supreme Court comes out to say. Many are likely. In fact, there was a report that somebody has about 22 billion naira in cash kept somewhere. So many citizens may be losing so much. Don't forget that EFCC is involved. Even when you are returning the money to the bank, they want to know. You know, so there is a clean-up exercise which has been successful, and that is why the governors are saying this is more of a cash confiscation than cash swap.
Okay.
That they have confiscated, or they have reduced the limit. Imagine when the directive was given that commercial banks should pay out 20,000 naira, for those who were lucky to have access to that withdrawal, the banks were paying 5,000 naira. So absolutely, and from the meeting of the Council of State that we monitored, enough currencies have not been minted to drive this change process. And change process is a value chain. When you are introducing a change, there are 4 key elements. You expect anger from the citizens, and that anger is driven by shock. The shock that they first experience will lead to anger. Then the third level is acceptance, and when you have that acceptance, you now have commitment. You know, when India did a currency transformation in 2016, they also went through that process. It was chaotic initially, you see. But right now, as we speak, do you know Australia is undergoing a currency transformation after the demise of the Queen of England?
Yes.
And they are going to run it in a way that you hardly notice it. In fact, since 1953, there have been 6 different portraits of the Queen on the coins, showing the process of aging of the Queen. The most recent one was in 2018. Now the impression of King Charles III will have to be placed on their money. It's not disrupting their economy.
Right.
The UK is transforming the face of the currency. The full implementation will not take effect until the middle of 2024. The Queen died at the age of 96 last year. So there is a process of managing change. And we expect that we have public relations experts in the CBN with the federal government that can advise on all this. You are dealing with people. We are talking of cashless economy. What infrastructure do we have to support cashless economy?
To boost it.
What population of Nigeria are even, you know, IT sensitive? That is what, even in Lagos now. Okay, I want to go for my grocery shopping by the roadside. I'm not going to supermarket. So does that man whose total revenue per day is not more than 7,000, does he have a POS? Does he even have a bank account?
Exactly.
What about those in the rural area? So, you know, whether this policy is laudable or not, the implementation has been poorly managed. And I speak like a student in a Harvard classroom now when we are evaluating issues, that this is not the way to go. But the president is likely to have achieved one of his goals, you know, and probably leave the rest to those who come after. When it comes to demonetizing elections, I think he has, and during his address this morning, when he was concluding, he said, go ahead, vote for a candidate of your choice. You know, so I think he has also come to tamper with the electioneering process. But at the economic level, we have more tantrums than necessary, right? The hardship is huge, you know. Even the great and mighty are feeling it. I mean, a client of ours, a billionaire, was looking for 100,000 naira just to manage his office. Even at that level, he couldn't pull 100,000 together. And yet some bandits are brandishing millions of naira somewhere. In fact, I saw a video of somebody showing us this new naira note in the US, and they are trading with it. And to make it worse, you are now buying naira. It's sad, you know. I mean, recently somebody was to get 50,000 naira, and he paid about 6,000 naira to get the 50,000. Even the 50,000 naira notes that he got then was old notes, and old notes was still mega tender. So we have an economic crisis, even if a political goal has been scored by the president.
The phone lines are still buzzing and messages are coming in. This is one from Blessing from Uyo saying, good morning, Law FM. My question is, why was the 500 and 1,000 excluded by the president? Well, that's a question the barrister will definitely answer at some point. Remember, you can still join the conversation, 070322773338 or 0909555139 for your phone calls, your text messages, as well as WhatsApp messages. That's the number you can always reach out to. Do not forget that we're also live on Facebook. Just go to the page, Law FM 103.9, and you can watch us live. We still have Barrister Jide Olugun right here with us. Join us virtually. and the discussion is around the Supreme Court, decision to adjourn, as well as the President's address this morning, reviewing key points from that address. Barrister, we've spoken at length about the economic, decision. Let's take this call. Really, Nigerians really want to talk this morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. I called before, Joel. I don't know whether
Oh.
I can call again.
Okay.
All right, Joel, please go ahead.
But I want to ask because I want to get something from because me, I'm a business and executive soldier.
Okay.
You understand? I want to know whether which law are we for? The barrister should whether we are going to follow the president or the Supreme Court or the city. That's my own aim. And again, me and you know that we know who is losing our money in this country. If they want this is not the only time they are changing this money. They have been changing money, it's not affecting anything.
Yes.
And I like the narration that you say one country like that, they are running their own economy, something like that. And it's nobody knows. Something like so why is it that this country everything is different? Even if the president something happens, the president will not come out and address the country. Because they will write something in the book before you come and address. So they should come and who should constitution and who follow it.
Okay.
All right, Joel.
No.
Yesterday I could not tell anything. People get money, I cannot say. And later they say the agenda is people started selling. So they should tell us what we are doing.
Okay.
All right, Joel, keep listening.
Keep listening. The barrister would address that in due time. We were just about delving into the legal implication of all of these distractions and uncertainties.
All right, more phone calls here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Augustine. I'm calling from Lekki.
What's your name again, please?
Augustine
Ode from Lekki. Okay.
All right, thank you for joining
you have
us
the
for
floor.
service
Shoot.
contribution.
Yeah, my worry now is like I wanted to buy something at one apothecary shop now. This just like 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
And after bringing all those items to me, I brought out my 500 naira old note, and he said he's not collecting old notes anymore. Like when we are trying to argue, like 4, 5, 6 people came and they are all supported me that they said we should continue collecting it to the other stuff.
Okay.
But this guy is that he's not going to collect it. So in this case, when government made a law that anybody that refuses to collect it, they should be getting them arrested. Do they put agents around that will follow up the law? Because the problem I'm having with the those rulers is they only go to they only say something in their office, so they don't follow up. Because this one they say now you should be arresting them. Will I be the one to arrest them? Or even if I call the police now like this mother, somebody refused to collect $500 now, will police follow me? That's another thing. So if they want to make any law, please let them be putting agents that will be monitoring those things. For example, like they say any people that overcharge, we should arrest them. In my area, up to now, they are still charging the same 2,000 naira. You have to pay like 600 naira to collect 2,000 or 500 to collect 2,000. That's ridiculous. Up to now, who are the people that's monitoring these people?
Okay.
To get them arrested. So we are tired of all these statements that we just hear on radio or television. Let them put agents around. That's how military do their work. If they say something, if they have to put people around that will be going around to monitor those things. And again, these governors of the thing that rules now, they are trying to see as if they are fighting for masses. They are fighting for their pocket because when there are a lot of things that are going on in this country, I've never seen any governors coming out to challenge the federal government because they know this one is going to affect them from eradicate the people that are laundering our money. Because if you look at the people that steal money in the old history, there's not anybody that do transfer to steal Nigerian money.
Okay.
They always steal money through cash. And they know that this policy is going to affect them in a way that they will not be able to be doing this their cash and carry Ghana must go any longer. They are not trying to go to court to frustrate the law. So now, which law are we going to follow now? Is it the federal government? Is it the Supreme Court? Is it the local law? So we are tired of it. The more they keep extending this, the more they are putting them in danger. Let them stop what about us. If they let us just stop because I keep wondering why somebody will be keeping old naira note. Like as I am now, I have only 500 naira old naira note. I'm still wondering if we are legit, we are doing a legitimate job in this country. Why will you be keeping 1,000 naira notes like up to 1 million, 5 million, 10 million?
Okay.
So we are not fighting for it. We are tired. Let us just stop all this. Let us do with all this new naira note and let us do our transfer.
Okay.
It will help our economy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Keep listening now.
Wow, that was quite lengthy, and you can understand why the frustrations are boiling over. But for the two callers that called just now, Augustine as well as Joel, the question seems to be they want clarity. Which law should supersede the other? Which one should be followed by Nigerians? Is it that of Supreme Court or the CBN's directive or the president, as it were? And we still have distinguished legal practitioner Barrister Jide Ologun right here with us. Barrister, you had fellow Nigerians speak about this. I was about asking, what's the legal implication when it comes to this matter? For all of these uncertainties, even if the Supreme Court rules, for example, next week, we're not preempting the courts, we're just saying it's just, a scenario, possible scenario, that all old notes are legal. How do you think that works? Will that be followed, that directive or that verdict by Supreme Court be followed by, the CBN, or it's the CBN's directive and that of the president that would hold water?
Hello, Barrister.
Hello. Okay, I think that the phone line.
It's a very tight one.
Okay.
But I'll try to clarify it. We laid a foundation.
Yes.
That CBN is not before the Supreme Court.
Okay.
It is the Federation that is before the Supreme Court. So CBN cannot be directly bound by that interim injection. I mean, legal stricto, so to say, like we say. But in a vicarious capacity, the directive we can claim has been channeled to the president who presides over the federation, who is now in a position to say, let us respect the decision of the Supreme Court, because from 1963, when Nigeria became a federation, Supreme Court became the highest point of appeal in the land, even when you want to appeal. So it's the highest court in the land. So having said that, what would have happened was for the president that can now address CBN to say, CBN, go ahead and obey what has been said. The Attorney General, maybe before he met the president, said, okay, in the respect of the rule of law, we obey the directive of the rule of law. But the argument is still on about jurisdiction. And let me echo what the CBN governor said that also started all these, our arguments. He said that the situation is substantially calming down since the commencement of the over-the-counter payments to complement ATM disbursements and the use of super agents. Where are the super agents?
Exactly. That also
and
even ask how true.
Therefore, no need to consider any shift from the deadline of February 10. So you now see conflicting directives now coming. Even though Supreme Court, by body language, has said we are looking at the plight of the economy. The issue of jurisdiction is a legal issue. But we also have the issue of socio-economic impact on the people. I'm not sure the president and the CBN governor and the Attorney General saw a man who stripped himself naked in a banking hall. I'm not sure. And that when somebody watches that in Sweden, he may not want to channel his investment to such a country, because in public relations talk about economic environment.
Yes.
I'm not sure they saw the woman who removed her dress in the banking hall, leaving her undies.
Yes.
I'm not sure they saw those gentlemen hitting themselves with. I'm not sure they've seen people going on the street attacking facilities. I'm not sure. You see, so, and that is why it is difficult now. You expect that what the Supreme Court did was just to stabilize. the essence of giving an interim order is to stabilize the situation.
Yes.
And to make, adjudication over the substantive matter effective. Because if, for instance, now you are in court over a vehicle and you allow one of the parties to drive the vehicle away, then why? What? You know what I mean? So it's a preventive measure. But here we are now, the power game is on. As a lawyer, I do not want to preempt the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
But I just want to express my past feeling that I see this more of the battles of the three arms of government.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And I hope it is because right now the judiciary appears to be on the slippery ground. We are taking the pain to explain it anyway.
Yes.
The issue of jurisdiction. I've said it. Go and check Section 251 of the Constitution. Check Section 232 of the Constitution on the states that can sue federation, and the fact that if you are suing CBN, it has to be through the federal record. In fact, an NGO sued the CBN in Ondo State in Akure and went to the Federal High Court presenting some arguments. And when we have good governance in place, the judiciary should not even have business in how you implement your policies. The UK is transformed from one design of currency to the other. The judiciary is not involved. I just gave us the case of Australia. The judiciary is not involved. So we need to really governance system, not to put the picture that things have fallen apart and the center cannot hold. Because sincerely speaking, some of us are seriously concerned. Because right now, you can see the governors on one side, giving directives in their state. You can see the president giving his own directive, Supreme Court giving directive. And for some, Supreme Court may be perceived as being fragile, being firm enough. This is the test of the rule of law. And the essence of having the rule of law is to say nobody is above the law. Even those who have promulgated the laws
exactly
are above the laws. And if you look at Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, it says that the National Assembly shall make laws for the peace, order, and good governance of the nation. So what effort are we putting in to ensure the good governance of the nation? I just told you about the remark of Rewani Bismarck.
Yes.
The man also said about 120 hours and law 5 days per month. So what happens to that economy? An economy where already about 133 million citizens are within the multi-faceted poverty line.
Yes.
An economy that, as of today, the total indebtedness is about 142 trillion naira.
Okay.
Yes. So if we have this level of muscle to enforce policy, then why don't we exercise the same muscle to other chiefs that are making us to lose about $2 billion in 5 months as a nation? So these are questions we are asking at the social level. But on the legal platform, it's a very sensitive moment for the judiciary now.
Okay, we'll definitely get down to the economic implication of all of these uncertainties and confusion, especially with Nigeria's inflation over 21% as at now. We still have Barrister Jide Ologun right here, and you know quite well that the phone line 070-322-77338 or 0909-555-1039. Your text messages, WhatsApp messages, and calls are very much appreciated.
Go on here from Eniola from Magodo that says, good morning, Samson and Beatrice. Well done. I really like your show. Thank you. This is really annoying when the government themselves cannot even follow the law and monitor things appropriately. How do you expect Nigerians to comply? It is really sad, and it's looking like law doesn't even have the power. That's what it looks like.
Okay, quite an interesting.
Her concerns are not far-fetched, because that's really the question on everybody's mind. Like, why? I mean, Barrister already mentioned how the different parties are towing different paths. So who is to say which one really has the power, to carry it out to the letter? I mean, that's a valid concern right there.
Exactly. Barrister Jide Ologun, let's look at the economic implication. As I said earlier, Nigeria's inflation rate is at over 21% as at now, and you talked about the economy earlier, the amount of monies we've missed or lost as a result of this. You also made reference to Rwani's remarks and all of that. What do you think the economic implication of this will be beyond the panic out there and the cash crisis? How do you think this affects the economy? Is there a possibility that we may slip into recession? How do you think this will pan out?
The question should not be whether we slip into recession. We are already in a recession, so we should be talking of the grade of recession.
Okay.
When you have a country of about 216 million citizens and 133 are within the poverty, not just single digit poverty, multi-dimensional poverty. There's already a crisis on ground. Obviously, you see, you look at our external reserves and everything, and you need to go out there. We are out there relating with the people. I can let you know it's tough. I was with Yusuf yesterday, that has a corner shop near our office, and Yusuf had bread to sell.
Okay.
But some people were bringing the old notes because of the confusion. Yusuf could not do anything to sell, you see, and he complained to me. So what do you want such a personality? What do you want such a personality to, how do you want him to cope? Yusuf is married, he has children.
Yes.
You see mechanics who come to work, they don't have POS. Their customers do not have money to close them. With this service the cars free, people are suffering. You look at all this. But you see, having said all this also, when I listen to some of our leaders, I was monitoring the governors, and they say they can understand the plight of the people. No, you cannot understand the plight of the people if you are not in it.
Okay.
You see, they are not in it. They are above it. That's what we call helicopter view. Theirs is not even helicopter view, it's private jet view. You see, so, and those are issues. You see, if you look at section 14 of the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 as amended, it says that sovereignty belongs to the people, from whom the government derives authority. So if sovereignty belongs to the people, the governance system should be operated in a way that the citizens enjoy themselves.
Right.
Okay.
And if you read section 15 to section 18 of the Nigerian Constitution 1919 as amended, you'll be angry with the government of this country. There are provisions there that the government should provide me maximum happiness. Please go and read it. You don't need to be a lawyer to study these things. They are public documents. Google it on your phone.
Okay.
That there should be affordable housing, affordable food, care for the old, for the disabled, for every citizen. Section 18 says that the government must provide education for all citizens. It's not optional. These things are there.
Okay.
In this section, I just, if you are reading through, there is a place where the economic policy, that the resources should be harnessed in a way that resources are not concentrated in the hands of a few. And if we are talking about fighting corruption, section 15 of section 5 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended says that the state shall abolish corrupt practice and abuse of office. These conditions are there. And with all these conditions, we still have an accountant general that we move about 200 billion from our coffers. We cannot go after those ones, and we are subjecting the citizens to unnecessary punishment. And some of us are against this. You see, and look at the embarrassment we have now. The judiciary and the executive, different orders are coming from here and there, as if we are not an organized nation. No, we are an organized nation. I mean, we have brilliant minds in this country if you want to consider and listen to them. You see, Okunjo Iweala, our renowned his elders state woman, is the DG of World Trade Center.
Yes.
Dr. Adeshino is the president of African Development Bank. If Nigeria has a citizen in Africa Development Bank and we are crawling as we are, it's an aberration. So I think these are leaders who put themselves together and open the window and learn from countries that have made progress. They go to Saudi Arabia, they go to the UAE, they go everywhere. And permit me to say this. We don't need all these rancors in the society. As we speak now, Nigeria has the largest deposit of open gas in Africa. Nigeria has, I think, second largest deposit of bitumen in the world.
Yes.
So what is that in wrong with us? So the people are suffering. I will not hide my words on that.
Okay.
So whether we are being legalistic or socialistic or politicalistic or anything, your assignment of being in office is to make life meaningful for the people.
Exactly.
Do you know how many people have run away from this country to go and seek greener pasture somewhere?
The Jackpot way.
You know, so it's really a disturbing situation. We are out here. I'm not in the National Assembly. I'm not in Lasso Villa. So whether they are cabals there or not, please send people out. You should let them even do a parade. Let's have, out of the 109 senators, give us 50. Out of the 360 House of Reps members, give us 75. Out of the ministers you have, give us 20. Then let them wear their t-shirts and trousers and come and walk from Ikeja to Agege and announce who they are to the people. That we are the ones formulating and implementing policies in Nigeria. I mean, it's a pure matter. And I've always said this, the insecurity of one is the insecurity of all.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Well,
what God says in Genesis 1:28 is that we should replenish the earth. And for that purpose, He has given us mineral resources. He has given us all we need to develop the nation. I keep saying, my argument is that if Nigeria maximizes the potentials of God, we should not be working for more than 3 days in this country. We should be the third richest country in the world.
Apparently.
You see, so, and these are issues of our time. And I should not, I should not avoid, please, appealing to the people. Please calm down. We are in a phase. It's a painful one, but definitely we come out of it stronger. So please, let's see how we can support one another as we go. I mean, the COVID-19 lockdown came. We prevailed. Now we have the monetary lockdown. It's so confusing. I won't lie to you. It's affecting everyone.
Okay.
You know, in some of the TV stations, we even tell you they are not going to allow you to pay with your card.
Yeah.
So you must bring cash, and they are not collecting old notes. How many with government arrest? Lagos State has at least 25 million
people,
residents in this Lagos. Because if we are claiming there are 20 million, I mean, it's a deception. Lagos is a haven to many who have run away from the hell of banditry. Less than has been 25 million. So out of 25 million, how many police officers do we have in Lagos State? How many will we arrest? So, you know, Aesop said something, a wise man. He said, after much is said and done, more is said than done. Permit me to repeat. After much is said and done, more is said than done. That is the case of Nigeria.
Okay.
That is the case of Nigeria. And, you know, we have Christ. And let me also portray the picture I saw in all this. Because I've been monitoring. This same central bank governor disclosed his intention to run for presidency. That in itself was strong enough to ask him to step aside. But we argued again the issue of law, whether it's a civil servant or political appointee. This same central bank governor was alleged to be sought after by DSS for sponsoring terrorism and for being corrupt. That's what went. What is going on in Nigeria? What is going on? I mean, I say this: the citizens will prevail, absolutely. You know, but we can feel the hardship. You know, we can feel the hardship. It's tough on people now. You need to just go out there. That's why people are aggressive. You know, so please. And I think I want to suggest again, going forward, maybe we should escalate the democratic system of this country to embrace compulsory study in national development. For you to even seek any political office,
exactly.
You must know what service is about.
Exactly.
You must know that it's not about you flaunting your wealth and oppressing the people.
Right.
It's about making life meaningful for the people.
Totally.
You know, adding value to the nation. It's so sad. And you know, please, I have this on my mind. My greatest desire is that President Muhammadu Buhari and the Commander-in-Chief of the Air Force of Nigeria, whom I respect so much, will leave office celebrated. That's my desire. Right? He's also mindful of that, because years down the line, few people will remember who the CBN governor was, but they will know that the days of Muhammadu Buhari this is what Nigerians went through. So please.
Okay. Barrister Jide Ologun, thank you so much for your time this morning on the show.
Thank God. God bless Nigeria.
Yes.
All right. Do have a good day ahead.
All will be well.
Okay. Yes. All will be well. There are the words of distinguished legal practitioner Barrister Jide Ologun telling us to be calm. It's just a phase. All will be well, and that's the advocacy right here on the show this morning for all of the frustrations, anger that we all are feeling at this point in time. We should ensure that we're still on the right side of the law and be our brother's keeper. Remember, this is a really challenging time for all and sundry, you know, and you just have to lend a helping hand when you can and when necessary. Remember, we are still one people, and this is still our nation. So we're hitting home stretch on the show quite all right. We'll just take a breather now. While we return, Beatrice and I would have just a beat for you. Please stay with us.
And we'll take more reactions when we come back from the break. Just stick around. This is the Law FM Morning Show right here on Law FM 103.9.
Presenting the Law FM Morning Show, giving you the best of news, legal update, newspaper review, and hard talk.
The cost of living, talk of lights, talk of good road, talk of some other things.
So grab the late morning coffee from 9 a.m. to 11, because the conversation will begin. Law FM 103.9, your station for knowledge and entertainment.
Right here.
This is Law FM 103.9.
Exclusive.
Yes, this is still the Law FM Morning Show. We're hitting home stretch on the show. It's been a great time with Barrister Jide Ologun.
Amazing one right there.
Amazing, really. Quite insightful. Expository, it must be said, because so many people were confused. Whose, order or law or directive do we follow? Is it that of the Supreme Court or, the president, who in a speech this morning said he has ordered or given the directive to CBN to reissue the old 200 naira notes to be in circulation. And for those who missed that address, let's be clear, the president did not mention 500 and 1000. He simply said 200 naira old notes, and there's also a time frame for it. In other words, the old 200 naira notes will be back in circulation for the next 60 days, which is 2 months. By April 10th, it will cease to be a legal tender. In other words, from now, the 16th of February till the 10th of April, you would have both the old naira notes, old 200 naira notes, I beg your pardon, and the new 200 naira notes, in circulation and also acceptable. They are both legal tenders. But when April 10th elapses, then it means that the old 200 naira notes will cease to be a legal tender in the nation. Barrister Jide Ologun also helped us to, clarify the legal aspects, also touched on the economic.
To a certain extent now, people have, what we can get from that is that concerns have been attended to, and of course, peace has been, brought to the minds of people, and clarity as well with their questions and their concerns. Taking reactions quickly before we had to record on the show. This one on Facebook from Joshua Odimayomi says, the president has spoken. The Apex Court has given an order, so who are we to believe? Yes. And then we have more messages here on Facebook. This one is from... Alright, this one is on the WhatsApp platform, and it's from... No name here. Okay, Tokwe Samuel Panisile Esquire says, good morning. I want to say thank you for your really good expository analysis this morning. A big thank you to Senior Jide Ologun. He made a really brilliant analysis. I like the way the interviewers, directed the questions to. Something I would have expected that Buhari's policy moves should include is the use of promissory note. Good that is, without saying that people can still agree to make use of promissory note. And it goes on to say thank you for this educative program.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion there from a fellow lawyer talking about the last message we had. Tokwe Akpanshile. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But we know quite well promissory note is not also prevalent here. It's not quite popular here. But right now, every feasible solution that we can have to this crisis, we definitely will accept it as Nigerians. We have one more message just before we leave.
All right, on the Facebook platform, John Chukwemeka Nwodo says, keep up the good work. We are watching the drama of our country as it keep unfolding. And of course, that's what that and many more is what we bring for you on here on the Low FM Morning Show. Just keeping you abreast of breaking stories, news updates, and just the stories around the state of the nation, really. Well,
the closing remark here will be, as Nigerians, we quite understand that the situation is challenging and everyone is affected. We can't all go about our daily activities as we used to do.
Yes,
we can also make basic transactional purposes, and I understand where the grievance will come from, that these monies are been worked, that the labor of our sweat, and we should be able to enjoy the rewards therein. But the last word will be, we shouldn't take laws into our hands. At the end of the day, this is a phase and we will get out of it. When the challenges of the present seems too challenging, too overwhelming, let's look back at where we're coming from, either as a nation and as a people, or even in our personal lives. Let's look at the various challenges we've overcome, the little wins, and let that be the motivation that spurs us to believe once again that we will surmount these times that is challenging to all and sundry at this time. I'm Samson Oloyede. This has been the Low FM Morning Show. Do have a blessed day.
All right, Beatrice Inim is my name. The Low FM Morning Show continues tomorrow, of course. Make sure you keep it updated with us right here on Low FM 103.9, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. The action continues right here on your station for knowledge and entertainment.
Presenting the Low FM Morning Show, giving you the best of news, legal update, newspaper review, and hot